Hi, this is a yin flow this morning, 45 minutes. I'm saying this morning, you could be doing this at any time in the day. We're going to be predominantly on the floor for this flow that we're going to go through. Remember, if you have any injuries, then I would suggest that you take the bench, that you do not do this session. If there's anything that feels uncomfortable at any time, then please just stop. Listen out for alternatives. Sorry, I've got a bit of a break this morning. Listen out for alternatives closely, and like I say, you should never be in pain, so if anything's uncomfortable, just stop at any point. We're going to start in easy pose, which is Sukhanasana. So that is just sitting as I'm sitting now cross-legged, but I appreciate sometimes this can be uncomfortable for people. So if it is, just take your legs wide, bend your knees, whatever feels right for you. If you've got a block or a hardback book, which is just as good, you can take this underneath the bottom, and that is going to just give a little bit of easing in the lower back. So you want the softness of your bum on the block and the bones of your bum at the edge of the block. And now we're going to go straight into our relaxation and meditation to prepare us for what we're about to do today. So I'd like you to take one hand on top of the other, take your thumbs together. So we've created a little ball with our hands, okay? Rest these down onto the thighs, let the shoulder blades come back down and into the back pockets. And I'd like you to close your eyes if you're comfortable, but if you're not comfortable closing your eyes, then please just find a focus point to keep your eyes upon. I'm going to close my eyes. And we're just going to focus on Ujjayi breath. So we're breathing in through our nose, taking that breath down to our chest, down to the pit of the belly, and then allowing that breath to come all the way back up and out through the nose. So just taking a few moments to get used to that breath. So it may feel slightly different to how you normally breathe. I'm just going to have a sip of water, so I apologise. I didn't realise I picked a squeaky bottle this morning. And if it's uncomfortable, that breathing in through the nose, out through the nose, maybe you've got hay fever or cold going on, then just breathe how you would normally breathe, okay? That's absolutely fine. The most important thing is that you're breathing. Allow your shoulders to begin to relax. And as you breathe out, I'd like you to just let go of any worries, any stresses, any concerns. Just imagine that you're exhaling them away. So we're taking this time to relax. We're taking this time to let go. Feel your jawline relax and the tongue hang loose in the mouth. Let your chin drop to your chest, allowing a stretch into the back of the neck and across the shoulders where we carry our worries and stresses. Continue to breathe that nasal breath, Ujjayi breath. Continue to let go of any stress, any negativity, anything that's maybe on your mind right now. Let it go. So whilst you're allowing yourself to just breathe and relax, I'm going to just read you something. And I want you to reflect on the words in which I'm saying. Keep them present in your mind as we go through the session, and I will try to reference them as we go through. Bring forth what is already present. Everything you seek Everything you need is here right now. All you must do is bring forth what is already present. Within the seed lies the tree. Within the cloud lies the rain. Within the caterpillar, a butterfly longs to fly. Kindness, love, soul, spiritual possibility are already here within you to be manifested with the fullest expression of your being. At the meeting place between the world's wish for your openness and your heart's yearning for completeness lies your awakening. There is a divine blessing inside of you. Grow around it. Like the vine spiraling up the fence post, let it guide you to where insight and wisdom arise naturally, bringing forth what is already present. So let us keep that in our mind as we go through the session this morning, opening ourselves up to what our body allows us to feel and be. Remember that mind and body connection. Remember, we're on a journey. Our body's going to decide that destination. And we must accept and allow it to be wherever it is. Bless me. So very gently bring your hands into prayer. Just resting the thumb into the sternum, eyes still closed. Let us take a moment to just focus on our intention or dedication for this session. Whatever comes into your mind is right for you. So whether it's a dedication to someone you love, someone who needs your positive energy or the energy of the universe surrounding them, or maybe just an intention for yourself, just to be free of your mind for an hour, just to be at peace. Whatever comes to your mind is just completely right. So just let it go in your mind. Take a moment to focus. Take your arms out to the side of the body, allowing the palms to open up towards the universe, offering that intention, that dedication up into the universe. Bring your hands back in prayer. If you're wearing glasses, pop them on top of your head or just to the side, and then begin to rub your hands together really fast. And when they feel nice and warm, take your hands over your closed eyes. Open your eyes into the palms of your hands. Slowly let your hands come away. And let us very gently, just staying in that position, bring our hands down to the thighs. So sitting in that Sukhanasana easy pose, remember if it's uncomfortable, those legs can be wide or knees bent. What I want you to do is I want you to just become aware of your pelvic floor, okay? So think of the pelvic floor as like an elevator. From the back of the bottom, we're lifting up at the back of the bottom, that first floor, into the middle of the pelvic floor, that second floor, and coming up to our third floor when we lift at the front. So you should feel a contraction all the way, all the way from the back of the bottom, all the way around to the front, lifting and pulling in. Then let us take our focus into the belly button, drawing the belly button in towards the spine. So we've got tension, we've got control here. All our movement is coming from the core of the body, but we can still move comfortably and freely. Take your hands just onto the knees, shoulder blades back and down into those back pockets. Let us just take the head to one side, let the right ear just drop to the right shoulder, feeling that stretch just along the side of the neck, A little bit into the shoulders. I'm feeling particularly tight there myself today. And just hold that posture there for me. Ujjayi breath, just breathing in nice and deep. So when we're doing our yin practice, which today it's the end of the month, so I always like to try and do yin at the end of the month. Or maybe we're just doing yin. My brain's frazzled this week, so if I waffle, I apologise. So nice and steady, lift the head up, taking it down to the other side. So left ear to left shoulder. One side might be tighter than the other. That's okay, just let it be where it is. So when we're doing yin, we're working on that connective tissue that covers the entire body, that fascia, as we call it. In Eastern medicine, they believe that we hold our emotions in our fascia. And so yin yoga allows that releasing of emotions in different parts of the body. And certainly if we think about the chakra points, the 7 chakra points coming up the body, some of the flows, the moves that we do certainly work on opening up those areas. And sometimes emotions can sit within those different areas for different reasons. Sitting nice and tall, head looking forward. Imagine a nice juicy peach under that chin. We don't want to burst it by squishing the chin down, and we certainly don't want to let it roll away by having the chin jutting out. So be really conscious of it being there. Let us just rock the pelvis. So we are bringing some movement into the lumbar spine. Gently rocking back and forth. Inhaling, exhaling. And when we're doing this rocking motion and that little, so I'm just doing the same with my hands as I'm doing with my pelvis. So my pelvis is just rocking backwards and forwards, tailbone tucking under and back. What I'm doing is I'm helping that synovial fluid that flows through all the joints in our body to just really get moving around into the lower back, into that lumbar region, so that lower back part of the spine. And then sitting nice and tall, I'd like you to just begin to let your body rotate forward. So letting your shoulders, your elbows bend, going as far as feels right. And we're just going in one direction. And then of course, we're going to change direction. So we just change our direction. Nice and easy. Again, just bringing in movement. And sitting tall. Change the legs if they're crossed. Just change which leg is on top. You may feel uncomfortable when you change it. I know as soon as I change mine, it's like, oh, I just don't like that. So sitting nice and tall. All I want you to do is hands by the side. Just very gently take one over the top, little lateral flexion, and then bring it back. So over and back. And remembering, if we've got an osteoporosis diagnosis, we're keeping this range really small. And nice and steady. And if we've got lower back issues, you may want to keep this range small. You know, gauge your body by how it feels as you move through these movements. We're just having a little bit of mobility before we go into our yin practice, where we'll hold our poses for around 3 minutes at a time. So one more and relax. And we've got a little bit of rotation here. So remember again, osteoporosis, range really small. Back issues, range really small. So you could be just this, the hand coming to the knee, or you might rotate a bit further, back to the center. And again, we could keep it small, just let that rotation be really in the upper body, so the thoracic part of the spine, a little bit of the cervical, and then back. Or we might be rotating fully, so just bringing some movement. So again, you're in control of your range of movement, remember. Nice and steady. To the side. To the side. Last one to the left. Come back to the center. Sitting nice and tall, hands just resting on the knees. It's just a 5 humming bee breaths. So we're going to breathe in through the nose, breathe out through the mouth, and it's going to be a noise from the back of the throat, okay? So you can be as quiet or loud as you wish to be. So it's nice and steady. Okay, very gently. If you've got a block underneath the bottom or a hard back book, let's just remove that, pop it to the side. We're going to come over into shell position now. So coming over onto the knees, we're going to take the knees as wide as the mat, but remember, if you've got knee issues and that little bit of turn out on the knee is really uncomfortable, then I want you to stay in child's pose, so just have your knees pointing forward. Otherwise, in shell, we're taking our knees as wide as our mat. Our big toes are coming together, shoelaces are down to the floor. We're going to take a deep breath in, and as we exhale, we're going to let the hands walk forward, coming down. Taking the arms as far out as in front as we can, allowing the head to relax between the arms. Now remember, as you bring that head down, if the head is dropping and you're getting a crease in the back of the neck, then please grab a cushion or your block or your hardback book, or your block and your book and cushion, and rest your head there. So you're not getting that crease in the cervical part of the spine. Now remember, we're tucking the tailbone under. If this is an uncomfortable posture, keep in child's pose. We can either have the hands out reaching in front and let the head be between the arms, or if it's uncomfortable to have the bum down, let the arms reach in front, so you're in that extended puppy pose, and let the bum be up in the air. Okay, so those are your alternatives. Otherwise, knees are as wide as the hips, and we're just resting here for around about 3 minutes. Now, your shoulders may get tight in this position. So I've got a couple of shoulder issues, shoulder impingements that play up every now and again. So I find if I just let my elbows relax on the floor, let my hands relax, that feels right for me. But you might want to keep those hands extended out, or you might want to just let them relax down. And I want you to just focus on your breath. Breathing in Ujjayi breath. So we're breathing in that in through the nose, down into the chest, into the belly, feeling your ribs cage expand, and then letting the breath come all the way back up and out. So I really want you to take this moment as you hold this posture. And remember, you can come out at any time to just focus on how your body feels. Remember, we shouldn't be in any pain. We can feel our muscles fatiguing, and that's okay. That's absolutely fine, but we shouldn't be in pain. Take this moment to go within. Remembering, as the poem said, that everything we need is within us. Just allowing yourself to go within. Breathing deeply. Now, as we're taking those long, deep breaths, and we're in that shell pose, but remember, you may be in child's pose if that's more comfortable for you. I want you to, the arms aren't extended out, extend them back out. I want you to walk across with the chest to the right hand side of the body and just come into a lateral shell. And again, we can move our cushion, our block, our hardback book, we can use them to rest upon. And we've just got a little bit of lateral flexion going on there, okay? Just a little bit. And we're not going to hold this position for 3 minutes, so don't worry. We're just going to hold this for around a minute or so. But continue with those deep breaths in through the nose and out through the nose. And again, we're still tucking that tailbone under. We're still being conscious and present in that pelvic floor and that abdominal connection. So it's going on all the time. Take a deep breath. And as you exhale, walk it across to the other side. So we're going lateral. I'm just moving slightly because I haven't got the space on the other side from where I was. And then just relax there and hold it there. Again, still tucking the tailbone under, being conscious of that pelvic floor connection. Staying where you are. Just going to say a few pointers. Remembering that if at any point you realize that your pelvic floor is not connected, the abdominals are not connected, that's okay. That is natural. You know, we're focusing on lots of different things, so don't worry if you think, oh no. It's absolutely fine. Just when you notice that it's not in place, pull it back into place. Pull that abdominal connection back in place. And, you know, it's really difficult. I forget at times, even when I'm teaching, so I'm like, you know, you're doing something and you forget that you need to be contracting those areas. So don't worry if you realise that you've just let it relax for a moment. Or longer than a moment. It's absolutely fine. So hold in that position. Let us walk it back to the centre. And very gently bring the hands back. Gently come up, let the knees come forward, shoelaces to the front, and very gently, shoelaces to the front, shoelaces to the floor, should I say. Take the hands, push the bum up in the air, be really proud of your bum, let your head relax down between your arms, and very gently, just relax there. So we are in extended puppy pose. One of my favourite poses. So just think about when you see a puppy or a kitten stretching those front paws out. Really take a moment to be present and, you know, push that bum up towards the ceiling. Fingers reaching out. How do your shoulders feel as you reach forward? Is one shoulder higher than the other? Is one more relaxed than the other? You know, take a little scan of your body. How does it feel? How is it sitting? And hold it there. Hold it there. Take a deep breath. As you exhale, bring one hand back from the other. Slowly let the bum come back. Hands come towards the knee and gently hold it there. Just taking a moment, walk your hands towards your knees. Shoulder blades back and down. Lion's breath. Let's just have 3 lion's breath and release. So remember, we inhale through our nose. We exhale through our mouth, we stick our tongue out, and it's just a okay? So remember, as loudly or as quietly as you like. So hands just onto the knees. Take a deep breath. Let the chest come forward, head come forward. Last one. And then relax, okay? Just letting go of anything that needs to be let go of. So very gently, we're going to come down onto our tummies. So very gently, walk your hands forward and allow yourself to take the legs behind, come down to the forearms and let the tummy relax. Shoelaces to the floor. Now, we're going to hold Sphinx position, which is pretty much as I am. So elbows are underneath the shoulders, fingers are spread out. My eyes are looking forward and I'm just holding that position. Now, take a moment. When your eyes are looking forward as we start in position, we're going to let go of that peach. It's going to roll away. So what we need to do is let the gaze fall down in front. So maybe you're looking towards the front of your mat. As you do it, we should hopefully clasp that nice juicy peach under the chin again. So we're just looking, so we go from looking forward to letting the gaze come down in front. And as we let the gaze come down, hopefully the chin comes down slightly. Not so it's into the chest, because that's going to restrict our pathway, our breathing pathway, but just looking slightly down. Shoulder blades are backing down in towards the, coming down towards the bottom. And just hold it there, breathing deeply. Let your eyes close if you wish. And if at any point you find this uncomfortable, just take your arms down, let your head relax for a moment, let your back relax. To hold this for 3 minutes is quite a challenge, okay? So don't worry if you need to come out at any time. Remembering there's no pace to our breath. We just breathe at a pace that is comfortable to you, the individual. What's happening with the pelvic floor, the abdominal connection? As you're in this position, we want the chest nice and open. I'm going to come down, my shoulders just aching a little bit, so I'm going to take a moment just out of this posture. Doesn't mean you have to, you can just keep holding it there. Take a deep breath. As you exhale, gently let the chest come down. Let your hands come down by the side of the chest. Now we're going to tuck our toes under, and we're going to push our bum back onto the heels. But if we've got any back issues, we can just roll onto our side and then push up onto all fours, okay? So let's take a deep breath. Exhale, push back, and gently come forward. Walk your hands back towards your knees, so you're coming upright onto your mat. Your toes are tucked under. Now we're going to do a stretch called the inside dragon, okay? So we're going to take our right leg forward, and as you do, let your shoelaces go to the floor. I need to move away a little bit from the wall. And we're just taking a nice big step forward with that leg. Once we do that, we then let the hips drop forward. Bring the hands down to the floor if you can. You may want to tuck your toes under and just let the knee go back a little bit further. And we're holding it here. Hands, if we can, flat either side of the foot. But if they're not, okay, what we can do is if we've got a block or a hard back block, we can use them to rest the hands upon. But what I'd like you to do is take your hands to the inside of that foot, turn the foot out by 30 degrees, and then allow the hips and pelvis to just relax into that stretch. So just holding it here. Elbows are soft. So you're going to feel it in the hip flexor. And I'm just going to change position so you can see me from a front angle. Sorry about my scary hair this morning, moving all over the place. So, from a front angle, you're gently letting that foot turn out, and you're just letting this come out slightly to the side. Foot's out at 30 degrees, and you're going to be feeling that stretch into the hip flexor. So just along here, so inside dragon, hold it there. Now, if we wish, and if we can, and if we feel okay, we could come down onto our forearms, or again, we could be using our blocks to rest the arms upon if we wish. Otherwise, we just stay on the hands. That's absolutely fine. It's where feels right, where feels comfortable. So just holding that posture nice and strong. Remembering, if we have issues with our wrists, we can always come onto our fists. Just make sure the wrists and forearms are in alignment. Again, a rolled up towel to rest the hands on can make a difference. So each time you release a breath, try and let the hip relax that a little bit more. So really opening up into the front of the pelvis. Now let us take a deep breath. As we exhale, gently walk the hands back. Come onto the hands if you're not there. Walk it back, come tall. Take that leg, bring it in. What we do one side, we must do the other side. So we're going to take that other foot forward, nice big step, and then come forward into that hip flexor stretch. You could even stay here if you don't want to take the hands down. Turn the foot out by 30 degrees, and if you can, gently let the hands come down. Remembering that we can let the toes tuck under, we can take that knee a little bit back if we wish, and then let the hips and pelvis drop forward, and we're holding it here. Letting that knee open up to the side. We can stay on our hands, or we may come down onto our blocks and rest on the forearms. Or we may be resting onto our knuckles, but making sure those wrists and the forearms in nice alignment with each deep breath. Can the hip drop any more? Holding it there. Taking a deep breath, can we go a little bit deeper? Nice and strong. Take a deep breath. If you're on those forearms, come back onto your hands. Gently release, walking it back, walking it back. Come back onto the knees, come over onto your bum. We're going to come down into Shavasana, so corpse pose now. So if we've got a back issue, we're just going to roll on our side and then come over onto our back. But if we don't have a back issue, we can have, just move those, we can have our feet just in front, hip distance apart. Remember, if you're not sure how to gauge hip distance, feet come together, turn out like Mary Poppins, or a penguin if you're not sure who Mary Poppins is, and then heels out. Core is engaged, pelvic floor is engaged. We take a deep breath. As we exhale, we gently, very gently roll down. I'm very conscious. I've got something behind my head. So if we've got any back issues, we can keep our knees bent. We could put a cushion underneath our back. We could put them under our knees to help ease any pain in the back. Otherwise, we can extend our legs out, have our palms open towards the universe. And if we're comfortable, we can close our eyes and just begin to relax. Now I'm going to change position because I'm going to be doing your meditation, talking you through. I'm just going to grab my rain stick today. So, if you're comfortable, just close your eyes. Allow yourself to just breathe. Allow yourself to let go of anything you feel you do not need right now. Anything that is weighing on you. Just let it go. Take a mental scan of your body. Maybe those things that are weighing on you are weighing in certain parts of your body. Maybe you need to take your breath to those points and just let it release. This is your time. Breathing deeply in that ujjayi breath if you can. Feel the muscles along your back, along your spine, just relax and ease out. Feel any tension in the neck and shoulders just completely dissipate. Feel your jawline relax and your tongue just hang loose. Any creases on your brow just disappear. Feel your hips and pelvis opening up and relaxing. Your breath is deep. And I want you to imagine in your mind's eye, you are laying in a beautiful bed, a big, huge bed with cushions and pillows and throws. You feel completely safe. It's as if you're in the womb again. It's a complete cocoon of softness and love and compassion. And when you look up, you realize you are under a canopy of a dark, starry night. And there's the gentle sound of raindrops coming down. Just listen to those drops. Becoming heavier and heavier and easing off. Suddenly the rain stops and you feel safe, comfortable under the canopy. And it's as if the rain has come down to wash away any of the tension or weight that may have been sitting on your shoulders that maybe you needed to release. Breathing deeply, breathing peacefully. Take your hands and place them on your heart center. Focus on your heart center, breathing light and positivity into your heart center. Breathing out negativity, stress, worry. Just focus on drawing in positive energy into your heart center. remembering to let go of anything that is not serving you. And if any thoughts come into your mind at any time, that's okay. Just give them thanks and let them know that it's not their time. You decide to slowly rise out of this big, comfortable bed. And as you rise up and you place your feet on the ground beneath you, you realize that although you're under this beautiful canopy, your bed is just resting on the ground. Your feet relax in the soil and the grass. The grass comes between your toes. There's a slight dampness to the ground, but it feels wonderful to connect with the ground, with the earth. You breathe in your breaths deeply, in through the nose and out through the nose. And then you very gently, very calmly begin to walk forward out from under the canopy into a beautiful meadow. It's dusk. The sun is already setting. The stars can be seen. There is still warmth to the air, even though there was a rainfall. Even though we had that showering of rain. And you just walk into this beautiful meadow, realizing with each step you take, you let go of weight, let go of worry, let go of tension, of stress, things you may not need. And as you come to the center of the meadow and you let your hands just relax out into the long blades of grass, wildflowers that are all around you, I shall just read you one more time. Bring forth what is already present. Everything you seek, everything you need is here right now. All you must do is bring forth what is already present. Within the seed lies the tree. Within the cloud lies the rain. Within the caterpillar, a butterfly longs to fly. Kindness, love, soul, spiritual possibility are already here within you to be manifested with the fullest expression of your being. At the meeting place between the world's wish for your openness and your heart's yearning for completeness lies your awakening. There is a divine blessing inside you. Grow around it. Like the vine spiraling up the fence post, let it guide you to where insight and wisdom arise naturally, bringing forth what is already present. And suddenly you're no longer in that beautiful meadow. You're back in the room or garden or place wherever you've chosen to bring your mat today. Your eyes are closed and your breathing is still deep. Just take a moment to focus on your intention or dedication that you set for your session today. Give yourself thanks and gratitude for making an intention or dedication. It's okay if you didn't quite fulfill it. If your knees aren't bent, gently bend your knees and slowly roll onto one side. If your knees are bent, just roll onto your side. When you're there and you're ready, eyes still closed, breathing still deep. Slowly make your way up to a comfortable seated position, bringing your hands into prayer. And if you're wearing glasses, pop them on top of your head or just to the side. Rub your hands together nice and fast. Feel the warmth. And then place your hands over your closed eyes. Let the fingers open. Let the hands slowly come away. And slowly let the hands come down. Hands together. Namaste. Well done. And just as we was relaxing, I have the universe has your back cards, little positive affirmations for the day ahead. And today our affirmation was, I do whatever it takes to get closer to consciousness. I do whatever it takes to get closer to consciousness. Probably can't see it, it's got a nice tiny little owl. But well done. I hope you have a great day or evening.